Magnus PA, that looks very scary.
Yeah, it really does. Because I worry about the mid Sand King sometimes, but I'm like, oh, there's a lot more here. It feels great to have this mid Sand King with possible follow-up RP and other things to really bring their way. Like I don't know. I'm excited to see it. I just don't know if the Brood's going to be enough. We'll see. We've seen Broods do better things.
You know, historically, you could even put Sand King versus Brood. Like that's also an option.
Yeah.
Probably will not happen here. We'll see that Sand King going mid, rolling down, chilling, having that caustic finale, pushing in the lane, taking the water runes. That's what he likes to do, get a lot of farm. But when things go badly or poorly, you can always put the Sand King versus Brood, use the same caustic finale versus the Broodlings, have a good life, maybe have a 5-man smoke, because this is Filipino on Filipino. It's the Rambulan that we're having, and Yopaj on Sand King, he's our idol, man, and he's doing it.
Yeah, I've doubted him in the past, saying that, you know, I can't see him winning as the Sand King, but...
What do you mean? You can't see him now. Okay.
But now I can see it. Last time, because I doubted him last time, and then he won.
Oh wait, Broodmother has a very peculiar web here around the mid lane.
30 seconds.
But I still believe Max should be playing mid, right? Sam H will just rotate on the offlane. Yeah, that's how it looks like. He also itemized for a stick on the Broodmother, so that means he wants to lane versus the PA.
Right.
Makes a ton of sense. Very smart from Smart Omega.
Ooh.
What, you didn't hear that one before?
Very smart.
What was that? Ooh.
I don't know. I like the word smart.
Wait, so how many? It's more like Omega lol, less Omega, or very smart from Smart Omega have black and Lacoste made so far? Not too many.
Not too many.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking about it in my head the other day when they were playing really well. Omega, they are the smart Omega.
Yeah. So we have the Enchantress coming on the offlane actually together with the Brood. So once again we'll see CML. He plays 5 usually, but he can start on the offlane. And what's gonna be nice here is he'll be able to enchant off the Empower as well. So that's pretty solid.
Restarting their net. Alright, 3 heroes disconnecting. Maybe not the quickest of pauses. I always say quick pause, and then I got told, you know, how do you know it's quick?
You know, one thing that I hate in this life is when I start the game and people DC instantly. I know it's not the case here, but usually it's like there's one guy in every single pub. He joins the game, and then DC is the same minute. And then you have to wait for him for another 2-3 minutes. Why did you queue?
Yeah.
Just do your stuff before you queue, dude.
Got to take out the trash. It's like, then why did you queue? Just take out the trash, then queue.
Exactly. Or time your stuff. I've become one with the queue. I know exactly how much time approximately I need.
Yeah.
And I do all my stuff. And then when I come back, the accept button is there. You know.
Right on time. I had it the other day where, you know, I was trying to give someone the benefit of the doubt. They disconnected, and they said they had to restart, and the other team was unpausing. And, you know, they unpaused like 3 or 4 times. We tried to keep it paused. Then, obviously, we ran out of pauses, which is annoying. Guy on the other team said, I don't have enough time for a pause. Well, if you don't have enough time for a pause, I don't know if you should be queuing for a game in the first place. But then, that, you know, a guy on their team, 30 minutes into the game, they DC'd.
DCs.
That's one of the better feelings when you're like spamming F9 and you're just trying to unpause the game. Didn't pause for my team.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah. And then, you know, it always feels good to just get that unpause going, and then we get to push. But I usually, my go-to comment is, what are you, scared of my insert rank here, Mars, beating you guys?
So you're trying to play the ego game a little bit. I see.
You guys should be able to win 5v5. You think you're so good, you know? I think you guys are good. You could do it.
Are you the kind of a player or not when you're playing 4v5 that you stay until the bitter end? Because I am. Like I always stay. I'm gonna be that annoying little brat that defends until you take the throne, even if he's playing 1v5. Dude, I had so many Dota 1 days when I would actually win the game 1 versus 5 because I would be able to micro all 5 heroes and win.
I can't do that, but I just wait and people just go, all right, this, you know, we're not winning anything from this. Might as well just go.
Yeah, that's also true.
Then they leave. But it's always nice to just wait them out.
Yeah. Sometimes you can win even 4v5.
Problem is, I'm always playing a support, so it's like I'm not the guy.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You know, doing the heavy lifting there.
Yeah, that's a problem. And for Neon, I don't think. Oh, there we go. 2 of them reconnecting.
Okay, and then a disconnect from the Void Spirit.
And then Void Spirits.
Smart
yeah,
Omega.
Yeah.
He's out.
This is. I understand them. They're playing versus a Brood. You know. You want to DC a little bit. You don't really want to play against the Brood, so. They will come back though, and now Void Spirit is the one, man. I have a Brood in my team. I'm gonna be playing 4v5 the whole game while he farms the jungle. Doesn't feel great. But on real talk now, Brood has been very successful on the Radiant side because you can play around Roshpit way easier. I'm looking forward to seeing how Omega, who did win with Brood before, do on offlane Brood. On the Dire side.
No, I'm trying to wonder here how many times have we seen Dire Brood in the offlane compared to Radiant Brood in the offlane? I feel like we've seen it Dire, right?
Exactly. I've only seen the Brood on Radiant once, pretty much on the offlane, and it won. It dominated. All the other games were. Is he gonna get skewered? No, he's fine.
He was thinking about it. He gave that little. He ducked the head a little bit, feinted the skewer.
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to skewer the Brood, right? Because it's pretty easy for him to be mobile around the webs and just dodge that out. Plus, there's Enchantress there with the slow, so things should be pretty simple for them.
It's crazy how much Enchantress does. I feel like this is a hero that outputs so much from a 5 position. I might go from an AA spammer to an Enchantress spammer because I watch just the impetus shots. You can make the heroes opposing you very uncomfortable in lane.
I would actually suggest you to learn Ench because it's going to make you a better player overall, as you'll have you'll have a creep that you have to control too. So overall, it just makes you a better player. So when you return to that AA, you might even be bored a bit.
God, yeah, well, I think the first few games with Enchantress might be me just pressing Enchant on the enemy heroes.
People that want to improve just don't push themselves hard enough.
Get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, you need to get out of your comfort zone, do something that's much harder, and then return to your normal heroes, and it will all look much easier.
Yeah, there was a time where I was just pressing the random button. That was all I would do. I'd play as a 5-stack, and we'd all press random, which, I mean, I guess we could just play all random. But
yeah, why did you do that?
I think the fun of pressing the button was the fun of pressing the button was a little bit more exciting.
Don't lie. You wanted the extra gold and the fairy fires later on. That was the case. But back to this game, Brood so far is doing pretty well. 13 last hits. Mid lane, Void Spirit isn't suffering at all against the Sand King. Pretty much the same, but you expect Sand King to be maybe pressuring a little bit harder. Top lane Tino is actually dropping a bit low, but it's a lifestealer with Bracer, so he moves back, he gets salved up by Shanks.
Yeah, they're still dealing with a couple tangos in this lane, so their regen isn't completely depleted just yet. We haven't seen much of this Sardar, but John Well gets the kill on a CML. Finally gets that Enchantress, doesn't take the Empower just yet, just working with that Skewer and the Shockwave.
He actually had 7 stick charges on Magic Stick that were left unused on Ench.
Is there a time where you just think, maybe if I hold the stick charges for a different fight, like I'm dead here regardless?
Yeah, not for first blood, not in these early stages of the game. In these early stages of the game, you almost definitely need to use it.
Right.
But it happens, it happens. Enchantress is extremely squishy early on. So that's the problem.
Yeah, once you get that untouchable is really where Enchantress starts to shine, I think. We've been seeing a lot of Enchantresses go heavy into like the enchant, 1 point into the Nature's Attendants, going 1 point into the untouchable, obviously at 6. And that's a point where if you are this Enchantress, you start to feel deceivingly tanky.
Yeah, You get a couple of items, untouchable, level 6 like you said, and
Dire's
it
middle
all
tower
gets
is under
better and
attack.
better, but the problem is the main point of Enchantress is dominating the lane.
Yeah.
That's where you really want to shine.
So you can get that quick medallion, maybe even that quicker solar crest if you do well.
Heroes that have built-in mobility like Magnus and PA are a little bit harder to deal with. As you can see right here, they go on her.
Yeah, CML getting chased. Some webs down Sam H with the Insatiable Hunger, but skewered back now under the tower for a couple shots. It doesn't hurt too bad. And when you've got the Insatiable Hunger, you're life stealing pretty well already, so that's fine.
It's the hunger, plus Silk and Bola, which pretty much makes Natsumi not be able to hit the Enchantress. So it's like a couple of things that make life very, very difficult for Natsumi.
I wonder if this game screams sharp for Sam H. That 80% miss chance.
It's pretty solid versus the PA. She misses you, you miss her. It's the perfect
Everybody's
relationship.
swinging, nobody's
Exactly.
hitting. I honestly wouldn't not want to see that.
I
I'd
miss
love
you,
to see it.
baby, baby. I miss you too. You know, that kind of thing.
And somebody hits and the song changes.
So far, Slardar is actually doing all right as well.
Good skewer again onto Sam H. It's still a very hard kill to get.
I don't think you have a kill opportunity here anymore. Not until PA is 6. So
Yeah,
this
unless Insatiable Hunger's on cooldown, I don't think you're getting that kill.
he has 20 magical charges, Fairy Fire.
Yeah, he's
it's
fine.
like he's
More
not
than
dying.
fine.
Too much regen from the web as well, so just gonna chill there.
This Void Spirit of Mac has done a lot better in the lane than I thought he would. You usually see Yopaj kind of dominate the lane, especially against melee hero on the Sand King.
Yeah, he's actually farming the stacks right now, but Rubik is smart enough to stick around, get a couple of experience points stolen from the Sand King. Now they secure the top rune for him as well, so Yopaj is doing all right, but maybe we expected him to be pressuring Mac a bit harder.
Yeah. Joel in trouble. Max made the rotation. Doesn't hit the Aether Remnant, but the
Nice.
impetus shot with the shockwave coming through from that Satyr, and they don't chase.
They don't chase?
They didn't have anything left from Mac except to dissimulate.
Very interesting. Bottom lane, Natsumi. He's
Getting
actually
chased by
about to...
Sam H.
Is under attack.
Trying to survive. They finally bring over Yopaj. This might get them a kill. Sam H with all these spiderlings doing a lot of damage to Natsumi, who just jukes away, gets a stifling dagger out onto Sam H. Yopaj lands the Burrow Strike, and he finally gets the kill on the Broodmother. That was a great play from Natsumi.
Man, Natsumi, it was a little bit of a great play, definitely, but also a little bit of luck. They're surviving with just a sliver of HP, and that's the best feeling.
They want CTM. Shanks coming around. But he
Oh,
goes
the
north. Oh. All right,
Almost.
he's got an astral step. I thought for a second he might have juked him out completely. Aether Remnant, Dissimulate, that's all lined up. Telekinesis. And there's the kill.
I actually love how Mac was standing there. He wasn't moving. Like, usually you see players just move towards where they think he is, but he just stood there in the crossroads, waiting to see which way he's gonna go, because he knew, okay, I have 2 teammates here. There is no necessity for me to just run and continue chasing.
Yeah, I don't need to lose out on finding this kill.
Pretty well played by them. Did rotate a couple of heroes top for that kill, but it's definitely worth it. Jolpad.
Looking for the epicenter Burrow Strike coming through. Arrow thrown. That lands from Play Hard, and this is crucial. You got 2 kills on a Broodmother very early, a hero that really wants to get the ball rolling quickly, and yeah, you can recover his Brood, but the more and more you get these early kills...
You don't want to be in the recovery mode.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if you're a Brood Mother, you actually want to be doing Brood things, and that's pressuring constantly. But this Blink Dagger on Yopaj definitely makes that a bit more difficult to do. Lane. Oh, nice.
Burrow Strike away?
Yeah, nice Burrow Strike. Last millisecond, pretty much.
So we haven't gotten a Sand King game together, and I've been wanting to ask you this question because I've asked it to Black and Lacoste. What are your thoughts on the build that we see these mid Sand Kings go for? Blink, Boots of Travel.
Well, I play a lot of Sand King, and it happens to me that I'm playing offlane or mid, and I buy this Blink, and then I get a couple of good rotations, and I get baited into that Travels so easily.
Right.
Because your point of view is, I'm very mobile, I'll be able to farm the side lane and join every single fight that I want to. I want to be at every single fight, but I also want to be able to split push. There were many examples of mid laners going for travels in the past as well. There are problems to it though, because if you aren't executing properly in a way that you're using your blink plus epi every time it's off cooldown and you get a kill, you can just die in the sandstorm while you're chilling around the fight. You don't have any save, you don't have Yules, you don't have Lotus, you haven't itemized defensively into a 4-staff, even nothing like that. Black has a pretty good idea with the BKB, I like it a lot. But what I like even more is just tankiness, utility items that make you naturally tankier.
And I think as CML dives to CTM, I think you kind of have that from the offlane where you can go utility if you're this mid Sand King in this game.
Yep.
You can be that guy who gets utility because I don't think Slardar wants to go utility.
Actually, Slardar is going utility, at least it looks like that for now. He's buying 2 bracers into a hood. So because of that, you can do the exact opposite by the Sand King. So it will work out.
So this time Sand King doesn't have to go utility, he can, but you have options, right?
You have options, exactly. Some Crimson Guard is an item that I would definitely consider on a Sand King in a game such as this one. It's actually pretty fine versus the Brood, versus everything. Even though Brood deals most damage with Silk and Bola and the magic attacks, but it's still solid. And they smoke up once again.
CML might be the one who breaks this smoke.
Yeah, that's...
They've got vision of him, so they can avoid him.
Man, he was actually doing the right thing, moving down south, but opted not to. Because of that, Sam H might die.
Yeah, this is actually unfortunate, but ooh, Sam H gets away. The Spider Wings don't.
That's some...
It's a good amount of gold.
That's some good amount of gold.
Good
for,
gold
for
injection.
Play hard, yeah. Yopaj got a little bit, but Mirana too. And the main point is you're slowing down the Brood.
Yeah.
Every time you kill the spiders, you really slow her down quite a bit. But Sam H is also satisfied because he did not die.
So, going back to just the discussion with like the Slardar and the Sand King, is that what we're not seeing from these lineups? Is just like the options to have these heroes do certain things? Mid, Phantom Assassin getting blown up by that Fable. They go to the epicenter. It's doing a lot of damage. They finally take out CML. They look over at Mac. They'll get 2. Shank's now in the Sandstorm. But I don't know if they quite care.
They don't
might
have
look for
detection.
him.
They don't have detection, but he
walks
moves out.
He walks out right next to them, and that gives Yopaj the double.
Yeah, they just put the sentry down. So Januel just went close enough, put the sentry down. Because of that, you have to get out.
Right under the tower,
yeah.
the sentry.
He doesn't care. He knows that Rubik is dead the moment you put the sentry. Interesting play, by the way. They baited on Natsumi, and I think that he thought that they'll be able to react a little bit faster and save him. Because you don't really want to be feeding your PA for any kills. But it still works out fine, and they did make a lot of stacks for him. The power is there, so he's living life.
So I'm just looking at what we've seen Sand King with. Neon played it with the off-lane Mirana. He might just die here. Trying to run Moonlight Shadow, but they've got the vision with the dust. They'll take out this Magnus. It's Tino finna getting on the board.
I don't think I've ever seen someone take the Augur Bruiser. The Enchantress has that enchanted. And
Bash and the arrow. No. There's no chance to get out. They have such good setup for the arrow in this game.
They just have such cookie cutter lineup when it comes to stuns and setups. It's just so easy to execute, and it looks like something you'd recommend to your noob friends if they played Captain's Mode. Just pick Mirana, Slardar, Sand King. Like, you can't miss all of the stuns.
Lockdown wins games.
Exactly. They have a lot of very easy AoE lockdown. So, looking good for them at the moment.
Yopaj sitting top of the net worth. He's up there by quite a margin over the next one on Omega, which is actually Sam H, who, even though he died twice, is top of it on his team.
Because he's completely left alone. Like, you might gank him once or twice, but he's farming the small camp, the hard camp, and the lane. So, and he farms extremely fast as a Broodmother. And this is pretty much what he needed to do, and it's a little bit late, maybe a couple of minutes, only because he died before. But he is pressuring the tower, and they did miss him with the smoke.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, they miss him with that smoke. can kind of clean up bottom a little bit, but it looks like Omega are starting to group together a little bit to maybe make a move.
This is really good from Omega. They're finally playing around the Brood. They're moving in. They don't necessarily have any big spells to work with, but if they execute properly, maybe they can take a good fight. The problem is, like, I feel Neon has everything that they need from Omega. I don't know what we're waiting for. What's the big item? Is it the mech on the Brood? Is it Lifestealer with Sanj after Armlet? Is it something from the Void Spirit like the Yules? Like, none of these items really make a difference. You know, like, it's mostly levels and just playing properly, but nothing that they buy makes a huge difference, which does not sound great.
Yeah, just the Sanj isn't going to be a big thing. Just the Yules, I'm not sure is going to really make a difference.
The blink on Shanks probably is the biggest bump to their strength. Like, it
really
buffs them
far
up.
from it.
Yeah, and he's 1k away. That's a problem when you're thinking that your Rubik position 4 is the one that should make the highest difference. Sam H caught.
Yeah, they've got the arrow to follow this up. Epicenter right on top. Sam H in trouble. Should die here after the Starstorm lands and one more click from Yopaj.
And then he obviously pings out the ward. Oh my god, they have the Tinker ward. When did they get that?
Radiant are
I'd like to see
scanning.
Tinker picked up so we can actually call it Tinker
Call it the
Wars.
Tinker ward, yeah. Can you... Okay, Yopaj misses this
short
one.
on the Burrow Strike.
Do you understand how much Tinker spammers hurt us when, like, 5 years after we're still calling it the Tinker ward? Do you understand what they did to us as Dota players? Like, they scarred me. They scarred me as much as techies.
They broke us mentally.
This should be easy Rosh as well.
Yeah, they've got the
Corrosive Haze.
Deso.
Yeah,
and the
Corrosive
Approach
Haze, Deso, Mirana Arrow, Blightstone on Mirana.
Empower.
Everything is just coming together for Neon. Meanwhile, Omega...
They're not out of the starting gate, it feels like.
Exactly. And I don't know where the flight is taking them to.
Yeah.
They can get on it, but I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, their captain has no idea.
Just fly
They're
around.
Just flying around. We're circling right now.
They definitely do have chances
Yeah.
with Brood getting that mech, a lot of sustain if they play around the bottom part of the map. The infest on Void Spirit, easy initiation, but
You're fighting into an Aegis now. That's
yep.
a big risk unless you know you can win the fight. And the Enchantress gets caught. Like, this is an arrow that lands. CML dead. Play hard. He's gotten a couple kills with those arrows. He's 3-0-3 right now.
Yeah. CML overall is always in position to break the smoke or break the movement from Neon. So I know I sound like I'm just protecting him because I'm a feeder as well, but he's actually trying to break their movement and eat the gank.
Right.
There's not many better heroes than Enchantress to do that.
But they're coming over. They're looking for Tino. CTM, he doesn't have his Blink Dagger delivered yet. But if he gets into the middle of this fight, that could be a problem. Burrow Strike lands onto Shanks, Moonlight Shadow. Bash first hit, Slither Crush to follow it up. They get the kill onto Shanks. Spiders hitting play hard, but that's not going to matter. RP in. Do they get a crit? They've got the Skewer into the Dissimilate. Mac with an Astral Step out and an Aether Remnant to protect himself. So Natsumi doesn't get the kill as he doesn't get a crit. Now he gets crit.
That's a nice thing, right? Like, you force them to use that big RP, big cooldown, but that's a position 5 Magnus.
Yeah, they could still fight without it.
They can still fight without it because they have Slardar plus Sand King, 2 heroes that are very capable of locking people down long enough, and that same Slardar has a blink now too. So
yeah, he didn't have it in that last engagement. It was getting delivered to him, so you don't need to have the RP ready to go. Blink, Slither, and Crush is more than enough engagement because you'll have follow-up from Yopaj, most likely. And the way Neon is playing right now, they're grouped up pretty constantly.
yeah, they are keeping up on Smart Omega, so that's positive, right?
Yeah.
Like, your Lifestealer is 1-2k behind the PA, Brood as well from the Sand King, 1-2k, so the net worth at least isn't that significant.
Gets grabbed by the Aether Remnant, and now Burrow Strike picked up for the Rubik. I don't want to overhype that, but that's a big spell to have if you are the Rubik. Like, that's a spell that could turn the game around because it gives you extra lockdown.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It makes Rubik's life much better. The value of Rubik is now higher, better than Sandstorm at least.
Rubik's stocks are going up.
Yeah, exactly.
Then he loses it after he dies, and Rubik's stocks go down.
Exactly. You need to invest when he dies. That's the right way of doing it. Anyways, another infest. Can they catch anyone
certainly
here?
makes sense with the fact that they've got the extra lockdown.
Yeah, but
Play hard. Ooh, good Yules. Or actually, instead of the Yules coming out from Void Spirit, that was not a good Yules. I apologize.
Root has actually rotated in as well. They still have Aegis, remember.
Dire's top tower is
And
under
this pretty
attack.
much tells you the full story, because they just got a pick off on a position 4 and they still can't fight. They're still running away. Even though they didn't use anything big. Just the infest, right?
Yeah.
But you still can't fight.
You get the pick off, that's something. Oh, Skewer with the RP? No, he didn't go off with it. He held the RP. Now they're going to jump forward. Burrow strike from Shanks. It's onto the Phantom Assassin, taking a lot of damage. Gets lifted up into the sky, and they'll take the Aegis. That was some quick damage onto the Phantom Assassin. Burrow strike from Yopaj. They'll get the kill on a Mac. They look over now with the Moonlight Shadow, so Omega kind of losing vision of these heroes. Slithering Crush avoided with the Rage. Stifling Dagger, some right clicks onto Tino.
Burrow strike, it's on, but
Sumi needs to be careful. Oh, there's the RP. That's what they were holding with Shanks with the Burrow strike. Two-man Burrow coming in from Yopaj.
that was
Oh, he stole
brave.
RP.
Yeah, that was so brave from the Rubik. As he burrow strikes, he steals the RP, but he just dies way too soon. And that's the problem of not having Gator Lance, not having Blink, not having any mobility item, being a little bit behind on that position 4.
Dire's top
Because
tower
of that,
is under attack.
if he has one of those items, I'm sure that he can play it a little bit differently. Maybe burrow strike in, steal it, blink out, and then go in.
Yules. This time a good Yules, because it's, you know, still that Void Spirit's Yules, but it's not making it so they miss a stun.
Dire's
Omega
top
definitely are
tower
showing
is under attack.
some teeth. They're teething a little bit. Their draft is
Slowly coming back.
slowly coming back. They're no longer toddlers. They can bite a little bit, and
They're learning to walk.
they're learning to walk. It's looking better. A Basher, I believe, will be completed on the Lifestealer very soon. He's a recipe away, pretty much.
Phantom Assassin going Basher as well.
Yeah, and PA is one item ahead.
Has the Sanjanyasha, yeah.
That's the power of Magnus 5. He just keeps your cores one item ahead all the time because of the Empower. So much easier for him to farm, so much easier for him to play team fights.
Southern Crush coming through. Oh, gosh. That damage with the Corrosive Haze is not fun.
Even without the Corrosive Haze, PA pretty much
Radiant's middle tower
kills
is
Ench in
under
one
attack.
crit. The problem is you need to hit her because of the Untouchable, but you get some
Dire's
bonus
top
attack
tower
speed,
is under attack.
Phantom Strike is there, and
Dire's
Ench is
top
just
tower has fallen.
free food for PA.
Yeah. Sam
Radiant's
H
middle tower
into the
is under
trees. Can they find him? Oh, they got him! With the arrow! Epicenter, Slithering Crush. That was really impressive.
That's a lot of hate for a Brood, but Brood players usually do deserve it. He was very unfortunate there, though. That TP was so close to be finalized by...
You could see the process going through Yopaj's mind. He's like, if I don't see him and Sardar doesn't see him, by reasonings in my mind, he must be here. Burrow strike, go. Anyway.
It took him like a second and a half, you know, to connect all the dots.
Yeah.
He had that meme, you know, like
The numbers
the
going by.
numbers
yeah.
going by, exactly. This one is a bit easier. Don't blame.
Yules, Burrow strike,
Arrow.
arrow. Ooh, okay. Yules from the Void Spirit to avoid it.
That arrow was so close. That arrow
The
almost
point
connected.
was almost, you know.
Infest mid
Oh,
lane.
does that creep get away? Yes, it does. Okay. They've got the Basher now. Maybe
Also,
not next time.
You can see that Sand King, after the Ulysses, he actually itemized into Sanj. So some status resistance here.
Kaya-san.
That's... Sure, why not? He's not really being contested at the moment, so...
Burrow strike again. Slithering Crush with the bash. Arrow this time connects.
This is actually a very interesting build from Sand King as well. You don't really see Veil that often any longer, but the hero dishes out a ton of damage. In the Sandstorm and with Epicenter, he's still really strong. He also has Nether Shawl, so that's, I mean, I'm not a mad certified person like Lacoste, you know,
Yeah.
but I think it's a lot. It's a lot of damage.
And the crit. Okay. Okay. That's the worst feeling as a support. I think it's actually one of the worst feelings.
Playing versus PA,
Just getting crit
yeah,
for your entire HP pool.
it's not fun.
Natsumi again, he doesn't have an Aegis to work with, but the RP, it comes in, they've got the stun onto the life stealer, the arrow follows it up, the right clicks in, is it going to be enough? The skewer that was stolen, but now they've got 3 kills. 4 heroes dead, they'll call GG, and Neon will take game 1.
Yeah, I really have to say that they let the Broodmother go through, and it worked out for them,
Yeah.
because the rest of Omega's draft did not look as sick, as good as before. I want to see something a little bit more synergizing in a way, perhaps, like some Slardar PA. That's old school, that's
Yeah.
easy.